What I want to do here by doing this one by hand is just to emphasize this is the kind of conversational acquaintance we have to have with the numbers. Now for each of these, we're just being asked to estimate about how far around the circle we have to go to get to that point. So let's just talk about A first. Jeff can actually write A right there. Now what do I know? I know that to the top is about 1.6. These are numbers we need to have memorized. I know that if I go dead center, it's about 0.8. And you can see that this is just a little teeny bit past halfway. So I'm going to say the value there is about 0.45. Now this is something we can check with Desmos. But this is the kind of thing I want to be able to do. Now, how are we going here? I know that the top is 1.6. I know the halfway is 1.2. I'm going to say it's about 0.8. I'm thinking halfway between those two is just about there. So if I'm going to guess, I'm going to say a teeny tiny bit more than 1.2. I'm going to say 1.25. 1.2 would be perfectly fine. I'm just trying to be as accurate as I can while I move. Now I know that the top is about 1.6. I want to know how much extra I go here, but if I look at the top of the circle, you can see the top of the circle is almost completely horizontal. So the distance to get to here extra is almost completely the distance we have to go, which is, let's see, about minus 0.2, so I'm thinking about 0.8. So I'm thinking about 1.8, just writing down some nice little values here. That's for point C. All right. Point D is way over here. I know that halfway here exactly is about 2.4. Not likely to use that one here. I'm thinking D is so close to pi over here that I'm going to use that. Right? I know that the pi is about 3.1. And this looks almost exactly 0.2 back. So I'm going to say for D, I'm going to say about 2.9. Just so I have something there. Now I want to go to E. I know if we go exactly halfway right here, it's about halfway between the 3.1, 3.2, and I tend to use 3.2 over here. This is 4.7 to get to the very bottom. It's actually 4.71. Halfway, again, from the video and the exercise, we know this about 3.9. Halfway between 3.9 and 3.1, let's make this 3.1. It's easier. What do I want? I want halfway. Halfway between 3.9 and 3.1 is about 3.5, and I think that's right about here. So I think that mark right there is about 3.5, and this just looks a little past that. So I'm going to say to get to E is about 3.6. Like that. To get to F, the very, very bottom is 4.71. F is just before that. And so I'm going to say F is about 4.7. Like that. To get to G, well, we know that halfway between 4.7 and 6.3 is about 5.5, and this is sitting right at halfway. And 5.5 is halfway between 6.3 and 4.7, so that's what I'm going to do for G. I'm going to say it's about 5.5. That's as good as the answers as we have to get, and that's about how familiar we have to be with those numbers. But that's it. Just know that the top is 1.6, the bottom is 4.7. On the left-hand side is either 3.1 or 3.2, whichever one I think is easier. Off by half a decimal place, I'm not going to worry about. And then we know that the middle here is about 0.8, then 2.4, then 3.9, then 5.5, and we can get really, really close really quickly. And what we need is pretty close really quickly, so we can have conversations about this stuff and not be so dependent on getting the calculator giving us a number that doesn't have any meaning.